when you're asleep. They're just getting started. John Romano, Dave Palumbo, After Hours.
We're back again for another episode of After Hours. I can't believe we've done it 3 weeks in a row. And we're joined this week, once again, by John Romano and, of course, Gregg Valentino. Welcome, guys.
What's going on, Davey and John?
And it's John's birthday, 59 years old.
Happy birthday to you.
Don't sing, please.
Feliz cumpleaños.
You wrote a good Facebook post, John. I liked it because you wrote, you know what? I hate the whole idea of thinking about I'm going to turn 60 and I'm only really turning 59. I wish I could just get it over with.
I don't want to say 59. I just want to say, I'm going to be 60. It's looming over my head like a storm cloud, and it's like, fuck, I can't. Turning 50 was, I don't know, you probably felt the same way. Turning 50, Greg, you too, was bad. But it was still 50, It's still
yes.
It's still half of 100.
Well, you know what it is? 50, John, sounds like, yeah, I'm older than 40. I'm starting to get old. But 60, when you're a kid, 60, it's like your grandfather, right?
Right. It's like I picture a walker, IV bags, bedpans.
Yeah, but you know what I hate? When people, because I'm older than you, so I'm going to be 60 before you. But I hate when people start that, but 60 is the new 30. I'm like, yeah, tell a 30-fucking-year-old that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. If you took any kid in his 20s and said, what do you think of that guy? Oh, that old guy? That's what they would say. That old guy.
I don't think, though, none of us look our age. I don't think that
no,
we look
because
like
we're Italian. But
right.
That greasy skin counts for something. It keeps the skin looking good. Lubricate. It's internal lubrication. When you lubricate 24 hours a day, your skin doesn't get wrinkled.
That's the truth, though. We're all guineas, and we're all from New York, too. I think this is different in New York. All the pizza that we ate, with the water, they always say the water special.
No, but when you're growing up, Greg, and you get acne and you get all the greasy skin, you're like, I hate this. I wish I had the skin like the Irish kids have. But the Irish kids look nice when they're kids. But when they get older, they don't age so well.
They get freckles.
They're like a piece of rope.
Yeah, they get skin cancer and stuff like that,
Yeah, it's true, though. But you know what, I don't know. You're right, though. I remember when I turned 30, I was like, oh, fuck, 30. Holy shit. Then 40, things start getting fucking real, right? Okay,
Yeah.
40, I got to start acting mature. Meanwhile, I go to jail. Then then 50, it definitely was, it was a game changer. But that number 60, you start looking at things like, well, how much time do I have left? The last 30 years went fast. If they went that fast, holy fuck it, I'm going to be 90? Really? You know what I mean?
God willing. I mean, I think, don't you think about death like a lot more now than ever?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm always, I feel bad for my wife. She's 25 years younger than me. And so, I mean, I tell her, look, you're going to have a whole nother life after me.
Me too. Mine's 26.
You'll live to 120, John. You'll be the burden of her life,
Well, we do have those genetics on both sides of my family.
Right.
If you didn't die of some disease, you lived well into your 90s.
Yeah.
So I mean,
my goal is to live longer than Blackman. That's my goal.
It's all I care about.
I got to tell you, in his defense, he fucking looks young. I'm sorry.
He looks great.
He's in his mid-60s. Yeah. And I remember when he turned 50, I was like, holy fuck, he's 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, he looks good. He definitely looks good.
Steve looks good. If you see him up close, I mean, I don't know, maybe Botox, I don't know, but he looks good to me. I don't think he looks his age.
When's the last time you saw him?
2 years ago.
Dave, you've seen him more recently than that.
Yeah, no, he look, the guy is definitely takes care. No one loves himself more than he does. I mean, he takes very good care of himself, and he exercises, he eats right. He's done it his whole life, so I mean that counts for a lot. Plus, he's got good genes in his family, right?
And he also eats one meal a day.
Yeah,
I think he only eats once or twice a day.
Greg, Greg, I have my egg white omelet in the morning, and then at night we go out to dinner, and I have my bottle of wine, Vino Viagra, and I have a good steak or a piece of fish. I don't eat swordfish anymore, or because of the mercury.
Mercury.
Oh, shit,
no tuna either. I have to stick with the with salmon.
And he slathers about a gallon of Retin-A on his face over the course of a year.
Right.
You ever use the phone after him? Like You ever use his phone? I remember in the office, I had to take a call. It was the only place was on his desk. I picked up the phone and I go, what? I was going to put it to my ear, and I looked at it like, what is all this fucking crud on the earpiece? It's like all his fucking burnt skin from the fucking retin-A.
Hey, he's doing something right. The guy looks good. So we got to give him credit.
Yeah.
Now,
you got to give him that. He does look good. He's looking a little peaked now. I don't know, but
yeah, he's getting older now. I just talked to Jim Mannion on the phone last night. He called me. We were talking about that new movie, The Game Changers. He had watched my rant I did on it, destroying it basically. But I wanted to bring it up to you guys. Jim is in his 70s and he's great. I said, Jim, I hope I look as good as you do when I'm 70. I hope I make it to 70.
He looks amazing.
He looks great,
does.
but he takes good care of himself. He works out.
I think everybody that's been taking care of themselves looks good. I mean, just you look at them all. I mean, the guys that eat clean, they don't eat anything processed. They train, every day. They get cardio, weights, good food. They all look good. Look at Jack.
A little babanya too. A little bit of the right babanya. A little bit of testosterone, maybe. You know what I mean? You gotta have that in there.
I've been on replacement for, I guess, 11, 12 years now.
Me too.
So, I haven't taken replacement at all in 5 years, but my testosterone's good, so I'm feeling good, and I take a shot of HCG every once in a while just for good measure. But I started drinking red wine. I drink red wine every night because I got kids. I got aggravation, so I have to take it. It relaxes me, and I think it's my father did it, and he lived a long time, so I'm convinced Vino Viagra.
You know what? I used to love red wine, but every time I drink it now, I think of Bleckman, and it just I don't like it.
You don't have aggravation though anymore because you don't have your kids are grown. I have to I have a lot of stress in the house, so I have to at the end of the day, it helps me unwind a little bit, I understand why my dad did it.
I always remember my father had the gallon jug of Gallo.
My father too.
My father used to make Italian wine with his father, but he never tasted the wine that he made. He didn't drink, my father. So I never drank actually because of him. It had nothing to do with bodybuilding, But I never drank.
The funny thing is, my father didn't even care what the wine was he was drinking. It's like your dad. He just wanted the biggest jug they made, right?
Hey, let me ask you.
Gallons, and he kept it in the closet.
Yeah.
But every night that thing came out.
Yeah,
he always had.
Hey, speaking of age, do you watch a lot of life after death shit, like Joe Rogan when he talks about shit, or fucking ghosts? Do you ever fucking ask people about ghosts? See if really, it's a really life after death? Am I fucking in another 30 years or less? Am I doomed? I mean, what the fuck? You ever watch shit like that or no?
Greg, I have in my house. We have ghosts in my house. My kids have all these toys. These little toys that.
No.
Listen to me. Last night I'm upstairs. My wife says, "Do you hear that buzzing sound?" I was in the game room working on my computer, and it sounded like an alarm was going off. You know how sometimes the smoke detector, loud.
Maybe it was her vibrator.
No, it wasn't. I went downstairs. She followed me, and I'm trying to find what to sing. I'm looking at all the smoke detectors. I can't find anything. Finally, I get over there's a bunch of kids' toys on the floor, and I'm thinking, it sounds like it's coming from here, but I couldn't figure it out. And all of a sudden, my wife gets down the steps, and one of the toys just says, whatever, it starts talking as if someone pushed a button. Now, I don't know how that sound was made. I don't know how the button got pushed. I didn't touch anything. My cat wasn't anywhere near it. She saw it. I saw it. It happens all the time in my house. I think.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anything, though, Dave? Have you ever had
No, I've never seen it. I only hear things. I don't see anything. Yeah, no apparitions. But
what does your wife think? But your wife's a pretty rational woman. What does she think?
We have definitely. Her sister is definitely in the house. My father definitely doing crazy stuff. Because I even have something on video where I say, "Dad," because I hear the toys go off without anyone pushing. I'm like, "Dad, is that you?" And then it'll go off. Telling you.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe.
There's a restaurant on Long Island out near Bleckman. We actually went.
I've been there with him.
Yeah, I think we had the Christmas party there the last one we were at. Yes. And that's supposed to be haunted. And the girl I was talking to work there said, we have repairmen here during the day, working on stuff that actually run out of there scared because.
Oh shit! I've been there with him. Yeah, I actually tried. I was trying to see if I'm looking in there, and I didn't know. I've been there many a time with him at that restaurant.
Yep.
Yeah,
Somebody
holy
got
shit.
hanged by the rafters, or some girl was hanged or some shit like that. And
Yes.
yeah, but it's supposedly the most haunted place in the country. It's or ranks way high up there. And yeah, they said that workers literally run out of there scared shitless. Big tough dudes that get literally scared out of their wits running out of that place.
Yeah, the waitress told me that the food sometimes, like, people will leave and get up, and the food will rearrange itself on the fucking table.
Really?
I don't know if any of that's true,
That's
but
cool.
I sat over by the fireplace in there. There's a fireplace in the back over there. We sat there. And she was telling me, oh yeah, you will come here and the whole fucking thing will be rearranged from when the people left. I mean, I don't know.
I love it.
But when you start getting older, you start thinking, well, okay, maybe if there's a ghost, maybe that means that we're, after we leave.
Greg, if you want to talk to someone good, I got a guy. This girl who used to groom my cats, this girl Danielle, she used to date this kid Christopher Allen, his name is. And I didn't realize he was a musician, but she told me he was a psychic. Like he does the stuff that the Long Island Medium does and all that stuff. And so I had him on the TV show, and he did a reading, and he was good. And then we also, I had my wife and her mom do a reading over on Skype with him, and he was so accurate. You should contact him. I'll give you his number. Have him do a reading for you.
You know what we should do, Dave?
What?
The three of us, if we ever get to New York again, we should go to a haunted place and film us three ghost hunting. Imagine that shit. Are you here? Are you here with us now? You know what I mean? Like fucking, can you picture that?
We should do the psychic reading on the show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can go back and watch the psychic reading. He had my mom on. I mean, he was good. He knew that I had a tattoo on my leg. He goes, "You have a tattoo on your leg of something?" No one even knew I had it. I had a tattoo of my mom in remembrance of my mom. And he said it was amazing. No one could have known it. And so it was, the guy's good. So I mean, I believe that there definitely is a spirit world that you can connect to if you're so, attuned to that. And I think some people have that ability to do it. I
saw Kim Russo in person, and I went to her, and I felt like she flopped it. You know what I mean? I felt like, you're full of shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Kim Russo, she's also has her own TV show.
Yeah.
She does the celebrities, like, all that. She has her own. She's also in Long Island, too, by the way.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, I saw her in person.
I think people have abilities. I think sometimes these TV shows, the way they edit them, they make them look like they're infallible, that they're never wrong. And I don't think that that's the case. I think that's where people start to say, "Oh, I see, it's fake. They edit it." No, well, you know what? If she gets 80% of what she says right, I mean, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good percentage in my book. Remember, psychics are interpreting what they feel. It's not like someone's whispering in their ear stuff. They have to they're being given symbols and messages, and they have to try to interpret it. And the longer they do it, usually the better they are at it. So it's a skill, that you have to develop. So,
but yeah, some of that skill is they're full of shit.
Yeah, well, I think there are people that are full of shit out there. Absolutely.
There was this one guy. I forgot his name. He was real famous. He was on TV and he had an audience, right? And he'd say, "I got someone over here there's an M with an M, and it's an uncle with an M, and then, you get 50 people in a room, somebody's going to have an Uncle Mark, and they go, "Oh, that's me. Uncle Mark died, 50 years ago." And then, they got black hair, dark complected. Well, I think he's Latin or from Africa or, "Oh yeah, that's me. That's him," and then, they play off of that shit.
Right. You know what he was doing? Do you know what he was doing, John? He had his wife. In the beginning of the show, they say, if you're really interested in possibly talking to somebody that passed, put their name down on a card and, put it in this basket. And everybody, because people go there because that's what they're interested in trying to. So the wife would actually go through the basket, grab a card and say, Joe Matarazzi, from Long Island died, whatever. And he had a little thing in his ear and he'd go, "I hear a Joe Matarazzi from Long Island." And, somebody will stand up and go, "Jesus Christ, my father," like that kind of shit. He was caught doing it.
I'll tell you one thing. John Edwards, who has that show Crossing Over, or it used to be called Crossing Over.
That's him.
All right, let me tell you a story about him. because I always loved his show, and a lot of people said he was full of shit. And I'm going to tell you he's not. I'm going to tell you how I know he's not, because Frank Zeppi trains him at Bev's gym. He lives in Long Island, the guy. He trains at Bev's. Frank trains him, and Frank told me that, he reads shit all the time. Stuff comes to this guy. I mean, Frank's seen him in a supermarket, just something popped into his head. He had to go talk to someone. He said he's the real deal. He got me tickets, Frank. I had said, Frank, I always want to see him. He got me a ticket for like a 100-person reading at like the Marriott Hotel in Uniondale. I went with my sister, it was weird because he read me, he read my mother out of 100 people there, and didn't really pick my sister up. My sister wasn't really involved in the reading, but he was pretty damn accurate, and there was stuff that no one knew, and he was pretty good. So I think he's legit. I just think that some of these guys try to sensationalize themselves because they want to be better than they really are, rather than say, hey, you know what? We can't read everything. Sometimes we're wrong, because everyone,
Wait a minute,
as soon as you're wrong once, they say you're full of shit,
I can prove first of all, he's full. I don't believe in John Edwards. And you know why he read you and not your sister? Because Frank Zeppi couldn't remember your sister's name.
Probably, yeah.
But the other thing is, Dave, you of all people should know. You know why? Because you're friends with Chris Angel. Am I correct?
Yes.
And Chris Angel says that it's all bullshit. He will offer $1 million or whatever it was to anybody that can prove to him. Anybody. Yeah. He's like that guy, the Amazing Randy. He says there's no such thing as ghosts, and I will put up this $1 million. He's challenged people on TV.
Has he?
And so ask him.
I got to ask him. I'll ask him about that. That's what Houdini was doing. Remember Harry Houdini?
Yeah.
He was trying to contact his mother. He would go to all these psychic people and he would debunk them, But there was a lot of frauds back then. I got to ask you. I got to change subject for a minute. I got to ask you guys about. I got to stick to bodybuilding.
Okay.
I want to talk about the Game Changers. Have you guys seen this new documentary on Netflix about the vegan diet?
I don't even know what it is.
It's called The Game Changers, and it's a documentary about why you should switch to veganism. And it's very well done. It's completely, it's completely skewed in favor of veganism, and they have they try to find one athlete in every sport that supposedly switched to veganism and has changed his life and he became a better athlete and all this stuff. Of course, there's only one person here and there. And, they give all this evidence why eating a vegan diet is so good for you. And, so I did a rant on basically saying it's bullshit because you could you could eat meat and vegetables and still get all the benefits of the vegetables. You don't have to not eat meat to get the benefits of the vegetables. So, but I guess Kai Green saw it, and I guess as a publicity stunt, now he's saying, I'm going to try a vegan diet, and he's been eating
Well, why not? He fucks a pineapple.
Grapefruit, not a pineapple. No, but seriously.
Or is it grapefruit?
He's eating veganism, and I'm watching him on his Instagram, and maybe Tyler could find the thing of him eating on his latest post on Instagram, and he's eating the most gross looking. There's no way this thing he's eating could be healthy. It's like a red bean, some kind of taco burrito, something crappy. The vegans say they eat so clean and so healthy, but most of the stuff they eat is not that healthy. It's like a lot of oils and stuff like that. And we know plant oils are not good. This thing is so greasy, there's no way it can be healthy what he's eating, just because it has no meat in it,
I have not ever seen a vegan that looks healthy.
No.
And the longer they're a vegan, the worse they look.
Yeah, because their muscle gets eaten up. Yeah.
They look sick. They all look
Bill
sick.
Pearl. Guys are going to say, "Oh, Bill Pearl was
Bill Pearl was not a vegan. He was not a vegan. Just like Andreas Calling wasn't a vegan. Andreas Calling told me he ate chicken and fish. He just didn't eat red meat. That's not a vegan.
But look, I've always said this, Dave. This is my position. If there was no such thing as social media, there would be not a vegan on the planet.
That's true.
Not one.
It sounds like a cool thing to do. I think people get bored with their lives. They're like, oh, I'm going to try to become a vegan, And
Look, I'm a vegan. I only eat animals that eat vegetables.
Yeah.
There you go.
The funny thing is, Greg, that famous scene of Greg eating the meat and Bigger, Stronger, Faster. Remember, John? That's my favorite scene in the whole movie. Greg's
know,
eating a
it's-
piece of
Shit's running
meat.
down.
He's eating a T-bone steak with his
Yeah,
hand.
it's dripping down his face, the juices from the steak, and right? Remember?
And it's a T-bone from the diner too, so it's thin, and they
Yeah,
cook it on.
Greg
the
was
flat.
so happy that probably Chris Bell bought him a free meal there. He didn't
did.
want to like miss out.
He did. I was like, don't even turn the cameras off. Wait till I'm done. You know what I mean? So I was like, but I'm a guinea. I eat with my hands and shit.
I love it.
I'm a New York guinea. We eat with our hands. But all that vegan shit is such bullshit. You know it as well as I do. What nutrients? First of all, anything green does not have anything in it that you can use to build muscle. So I don't know how you're going to build muscle. Where's the protein? And I don't want to hear that. Wow, chickpeas have complete protein, and you can have pea protein and all this other. It's fucking bullshit.
You can't turn on mTOR. Yeah, mTOR.
And the mTOR pathway.
Yeah,
Listen, you got to have there are essential amino acids that you have got to get from your diet, and they are not found in plants. You have to have essential fats, and the ALA in plants is useless to a human.
Yeah.
It's got to be converted to DHA or
Right.
EPA, and that conversion is extremely inefficient.
Yep.
You get very, very little, like 2%.
Yep.
So you need the animal to eat the ALA to convert it to DHA, so you can eat the fish that already did it for you.
Yep.
If you don't have those essential aminos, and if you don't have those essential fats, and you go long enough without them, you can die. That's a fact.
First of all,
Absolute fact.
100% agree.
omnivores.
You have
We're
got to
omnivores.
eat animal flesh.
But you know how we got here to America? Because humans chased over the Bering Strait, which was frozen ice. There was no fucking land or anything. Up there, they chased animals into the United States from Europe. That's exactly how we got here. Berries, right? They ate berries, they ate nuts, and they ate the fat on the animal and the meat. So it's all bullshit.
They
These
try to
people don't realize
say,
that.
in this special, they try to say, well, humans have much longer digestive tracts than, say, the carnivores like lions do. Yeah, that's true. But compare our digestive tract to a cow that eats grass all day long. It's not as long. We're omnivores. We're meant to
Dave,
eat
that's
both.
as stupid as somebody as me. If I said, humans, a horse has a bigger dick than a human. So what the fuck? You know what I mean? What does that have to do with what does the digestive tract with another animals? You can't compare fucking us with lions.
No. What they're saying is the length of the digestive tract determined. In other words, long digestive tracts are more.
I know.
Efficient at
Cows
extracting
and all
nutrients
that
from vegetables. But the problem is that we don't have the length or the digestive organs of a cow, for say, who can actually extract nutrients from grass. We eat grass, we throw up. We can't extract the nutrients. So it's a very poor analogy, is what I'm saying.
And plant diets are more acidic than meat diets.
I don't know about that.
Well, wait a minute. Let me ask you a question, though. Why do
Tomatoes
you
have
think?
tons of acid in them.
I know that people say, yeah, but we were once apes, but that's why our appendix, right?
We weren't
Which was
apes.
supposed-
We both
Huh?
we were never apes. We evolved from a common ancestor. So apes went to the plant route. We went to the omnivore route.
We once ate plants, but isn't that why our appendix was once almost like another stomach? Am I correct?
It's possible. It could be like a vestigial organ that might have, at some point in time, in evolutionary time, had a function.
Right.
But
We just got rid of it. Right.
Scott Connolly said it best, John. Connolly said, you know what? Think of the great apes, the gorillas, right? They're the biggest creatures, most muscular creatures. They eat plants. But you know what? From the minute they wake up in the morning to the minute they go to bed at night, they don't stop eating leaves. If we had to do that all day long, we couldn't do anything. We could never have evolved the higher functioning brain that would allow us to do all the great stuff that we've done, because we'd be eating leaves all day long. Imagine, Greg, you'd be sitting on your ass eating fucking leaves. Sorry, can't go to the gym. Sorry, guys, I can't come to the restaurant. I got to fucking eat leaves all day long. So we evolved the ability to consume other animals so that we can extract protein more efficiently, so that we don't have to sit and eat leaves all day, and we can actually do stuff and make tools and turn them into Lamborghinis eventually,
And, well, you bring up Dr. Connolly. He would talk about the Inuit Indians, in Alaska.
Yeah.
And their diet was all animal-based. They had no vegetables.
No.
There's no vegetables that grow in the ice.
They ate fat, whale blubber,
fat,
beluga.
High-fat, high-protein diets. The evolution is gonna look. If the human, that version of the human is gonna survive, it's got to survive on what there is. And from as an animal before we were civilized. So those Inuit Indians only had seals and whales, and it was all fat, blubber, protein. Yeah. That's all they had. These people are so freaking healthy. They have no heart conditions. They have no bad blood values. They're all freaking pictures of health as long as they were eating that indigenous diet.
Right.
They only got screwed up when they eat the American.
McDonald's
but the Indians are the ones who
they put up McDonald's on the
came over from the fucking
there.
Barren Strait. They're the ones who came over from Europe.
Yeah.
That's why real Russians almost look Asian, and so did it, because that humanoid came across the Barren Strait, which was once frozen. You know what I mean? Because of the animals, they were chasing animals.
There was a land bridge there.
Right.
Yeah, the land bridge, right. That's what I'm saying. But there was no land bridge. It was actually frozen ice.
Yeah.
There was nothing growing. They couldn't eat, it's all, these people are fucking nuts. You know what I mean? They really are. I don't know. So now everybody wants to be vegan and shit?
So yeah,
Schwarzenegger said he was vegan.
People are so easily bamboozled. Kai is the greatest performer of all in our entire industry. He is obviously took this movie and he said, you know what, I'm going to get some play out of it. So now he's supposedly eating a vegan diet. How long is that going to last him, right? So, but you couldn't find his Instagram, Tyler?
No, I actually couldn't.
Kai Green's Instagram you can't find?
I thought it was Vegan Gains.
No. Kai Green. Not vegan. Kai Green. Okay. The first post. He's eating like I said, trying to eat vegan at all his meals now. I'm sure the experiment will be 2 weeks, but the funny thing is, he knows people are going to tune in to see, and I guarantee you people are such sheep and followers, they'll be like, oh, Kai Green's becoming vegan. I have to become a vegan too.
Everybody that I knew that was vegan is fat, because I have friends that are vegan. I go over there, they're eating bread, pasta, rice, fucking all that kind of grains and all that shit, and they're
Look
fat.
at what he's eating. Can you see that? Can they see that? Oh, they can't see it.
Who's that?
Kai Green is eating on his Instagram. It looks like he's eating Kentucky Fried Chicken, only it's vegan Kentucky Fried Chicken,
That stuff is the worst shit for you. It's full of fat.
I know.
It's all fat and carbs.
But it's plant. It's like those. It's like cooking oil fat, which is no good for you. All pro-inflammatory stuff.
Look, I will say this. This is my position on it. I have not seen a long-term vegan that looks healthy. A true vegan. They look unhealthy. They don't look like they're getting the nutrients they need. The longer they're a vegan, the worse they look.
And you know what? Even if there's a couple freaks out there, John, that could actually be vegans and actually be strong and perform in their sports, because I'm sure there's a couple. But there's genetic freaks out there that can eat anything and be advanced and better than everyone else in sports because they're just genetically superior. I'm sure if you put Ronnie Coleman on a vegan diet when he was at his best, he still would have looked really good.
Dude, when I was younger, I was a great teenage bodybuilder, bro. You seen the pictures of me. I wasn't on juice. I ate fucking junk food, too, a lot. I never got fat. It just my body just ate that shit up because of my genetics. But all this shit is such fucking bullshit. I remember doing a fucking thing. I told you, Robbie Duran, we were doing a commercial for a bodybuilder. I'm not going to say his name, but he's a New York bodybuilder, and he was promoting for one of the big companies, and he was taking the scoops, and he was making a shake with it, and as soon as he was done, he threw the whole fucking container out, went up in the closet, took his own, I'll tell you who it was, and took his own fucking shit out, and put that in the shake and then drank it. What I'm saying is, after Kai Green did that fucking thing, he probably took that vegan thing, he threw it away, and grabbed a ham sandwich and shit like that, or a meatball wedge. You know what I mean? Right? Am I right or wrong? You know how these guys are. They're all full of shit. Just like people who believe that Rich Piana fucking ate a quart of ice cream or a pint of ice cream before he went to bed, woke up in the morning and made Fruity Pebbles shake and shit, and he got jacked eating like that.
Yeah.
They're full of shit.
Jimmy Pelleccia used to eat hot dogs and hamburgers off the street, and he bench pressed 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. There's outliers out there that can eat literally.
You're telling the truth, John. I was with him in the car. We were on the way to go somewhere. I don't remember where we were going. And he's like, wait, I got to stop. I'm like, stop where? We're in the middle of a parkway. He's like, you see that little cart over there? He pulls off this road, and there's a hot dog stand. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing at this? What are we doing? What are you doing? He goes over there and he buys 2 hot dogs. He hadn't eaten anything. It was like 12 noon already. I had already had 4 meals. This one I was 300 pounds. He buys 2 hot dogs with everything on it. Chili and sauerkraut and mustard. And he's in the car and he's driving and he's eating these hot dogs. I'm like, Jimmy, isn't that stuff going to bother your stomach? Nah, I'm be good. And we made a couple pit stops and he finished eating them and then we went to the gym and we worked out.
Dude, I was with Mike Monterazzo, and he was like 2-3 weeks out from the the Arnold Classic. It's like 90 in the early 90s. And he ate 2 twin cheeseburger deluxes and fucking had French fries with, I don't remember if he had chicken gravy on there or something like that. But I'm saying, I was like, and he drank a beer. And I was like, holy fuck. If the Arnold's like 3 weeks away, he said, nah, don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to argue with my...
I saw him eat peanut butter one time, like 3 weeks out from the Olympia.
And
he would keep it in the refrigerator, and he's eating it with his spoon. It's like taffy when you put it in the refrigerator.
That's what these kids don't understand. They believe like any of these bro science, it's Momo science. Fuck that bro science shit. They believe that shit. They believe like Ben and Jerry's stock went up after Rich Piana did that shit with the ice cream. You know what I'm saying? People believe that. Go home, on the way home, eat a Whataburger. And then when you get home, have the pint of ice cream, and then wake up in the morning and make your shake with fucking Fruity Pebbles and shit, or whatever, with Cocoa Puffs. You know what I mean? They believe that shit. They really believe that these guys, first of all, some guys do eat shit like that, because I gotta admit, I do too, once in a while. But the thing is that if you're not genetically elite, you can pick your nose and eat it and fucking gain weight. You know what I mean? And lose. It's not the same. Right?
No, it's the truth, because I had a very, very, very good metabolism, and I used to always talk about how I eat McDonald's once a day, triple cheeseburger and large fry, but the other 8 meals that I ate a day were so clean, so precisely engineered, so I everything was thought out, how much protein, how much fat, how much carbs, how much vegetables in there. So it didn't matter if I had one crappy meal a day, because in the scope of how many calories I was eating per day, that was maybe 2 to 3% of my food intake for the day. People don't realize that. When you could eat a lot, when you have to eat 12 times a day, if you're eating one of those meals is a little off, it's not quantitatively for the whole day. It's not screwing up your macros. It's not screwing up your protein, fat, carb intake. If I'm only eating 5 meals a day and I'm eating one of those and I have a terrible metabolism, of course I'm going to gain weight from that. So, I ate very, very good and very precisely, never missed meals. Everything was timed for 10 years like that. And that's why I got good results. And people, not many people can do that with that kind of tenacity day in and day out. But I was, I was so driven to be, put on size and to look a certain way. And, Dorian was the guy we were all going after, that, people don't realize that. They see that Dave ate McDonald's, they want to eat McDonald's every meal of the day.
Absolutely. Hey, John, do you remember Corey Everson in the 80s used to talk about how she used to eat M&Ms, and she wasn't on no fucking insulin either. She used to eat M&Ms right up to the day of the show. She said I would start sometimes with 20 M&Ms, and then I would cut it down to 18, then 16, and by the day of the show, it was down to like 3 or 4 M&Ms. But she ate M&Ms right up to the day of the show. Am I right or wrong, John?
You're right. Yeah, absolutely. It actually was an article that in Muscle and Fitness about it. But, what people don't realize is that if you're a bodybuilder that's Olympia level or even national level, top pro, national level or Olympia level, top of the top, okay, you're a fucking freak. There's just no 2 ways about it. Dave, you're a freak. That's it. There's no 2 ways about it.
Yeah.
So, Greg, you are too, but in a different way.
Thank you.
But people don't realize that. Ronnie Coleman, I get a kick out of these gurus. I prepped Ronnie Coleman. My dog could prep Ronnie Coleman. Yeah, that's not. Give me a 60-year-old postmenopausal woman with no metabolism. Get her ready for a show. That's impressive.
Yeah, really.
Ronnie Coleman is not impressive to me. Yeah. Anybody could prep him. So if you're that kind of freak, it doesn't matter what you eat. You're talking about splitting hairs. Oh, I'm going to give Ronnie, 16 ounces of chicken, and the other, oh, no, he needs 17. But what's the difference? It doesn't matter.
He's eating a bottle of barbecue sauce the whole diet.
Right. He's going to put a bottle of barbecue sauce on it anyway. So what the fuck? It's got nothing to do with. He's a freak. He's an absolute freak of nature. He could eat Snickers bars and ice cream, and as long as you give him enough protein, he's going to be fine.
Right.
So these guys that are freaks of nature, that are up there on the Olympia stage, it's to me, to prepping one of those guys, that's the easiest thing in the fucking world. There's nothing to it.
Yet no one can do it still. It's still they have trouble getting these guys in shape. It's unbelievable. Think about what Ronnie did for a minute. Ronnie would train each body part twice a week. So 6 days of training per week, 1 day off. And because he liked to eat the barbecue sauce, he would do 2.5 hours of cardio a day. Now, if he didn't eat the barbecue sauce, he probably could have done 20 minutes of cardio a day. He probably would have been fine. But he did all that and didn't overtrain. And his workouts would be like 2.5 hours long.
Brutal.
Wait.
Anyone else would be overtrained. No one could recover from what he was doing.
I got a Ronnie story. Hold on 1 second. First, I want to say Flex Wheeler used to say that as long as you get the good food in first, like he used to say, as long as I get in my good food, my fish or my protein, I could eat a little junk because the body will sift through the good food and use that. There's no building muscle in junk or obviously just vegetables. But that's Flex Wheeler used to say that. But I got to tell you, Ronnie Coleman once went fishing with Brian Dabson, and they caught like fucking 25 fish. I don't know what kind of fish they were, but I just know that they went fishing together. And Brian Dabson said Brian Dabson has a grill, but back there at the gym down there in Texas, and he cooked them all on a grill, and he put a big platter out, right? And he said he went and he fucking got a phone call, and he went and did it was a business call, and he sat in there for 45 minutes, and when he came out, the 25, 26 fish, there were 2 fish left and one had a bite mark in it. And he goes, what the fuck happened? And he looked over and he saw Ronnie Coleman laying on the bench taking a nap. He was taking a nap, and he said his gut was out to here. And he got pissed. He went over to fucking Ronnie. Did you eat all those fish? Ronnie said, yes, I did. And he goes, holy fucking, he goes, I left 2 for you. Brian Dabson was like, 2 fucking fish out of you ate like, that meant you ate like 24 fish. You know what I'm saying?
And nothing green ever. He never ate.
No, he wouldn't eat. No way. Even fucking Robbie Duran was driving down to Florida with him once, and he said he had to stop every fucking like couple hours. He would stop, and Ronnie would get like junk, go to like Burger King, whatever, and get fucking big bags of hamburgers, and so. These people don't realize. Let me tell you something. The whole vegan thing is bullshit. If you want to sit and eat vegetables, bro, you know as well as I do. You can get some nutrients and some fiber out of there, but there's no workable. You're not going to get your essential.
You need both. You need both. It's about balance. You need vegetables and you need protein, so you can be healthy from the vegetables and you can build muscle from the animal protein.
Right.
That's all there is to it.
What these guys are going to do, Dave? They're going to have the vegetable. They're going to have their green to get all the good shit that they need from that. And then they're going to have their quinoa because it has protein and maybe pea with the pea protein.
You know
or
what?
they're going to supplement with shakes and shit.
You know what? I got news for you. Go out and have a couple red bean burgers, right? That's what everyone gets. Oh, red bean burgers, they're delicious. Have a couple of those and tell me how many fucking farts you let out for the rest of the freaking day after you eat about 5 or 6 of those red bean burgers. You won't even be able to stay in the same room with yourself. Okay? Much less anyone else be in the room with you.
I was just going to say that. I was in New York and I went with this friend of mine. It was winter time too. It was like 20 degrees. And we went to one of these freaking hippy dippy fucking sandwich places. They had no meat. It was bean burgers and fake tofu shit and whatever false fake faux meat. And so I got 2 of those red bean burgers. All right. And he got a red bean burger and one of these tofu things. We get in the car after we eat. We get in the car. 15 minutes goes by. Man, the fucking beat started happening, and we had to drive on the Taconic State Parkway, 80 miles an hour, with the windows open, 20 degrees, to fucking let that car air out. We were blowing farts like for 45 minutes. They wouldn't stop. I could imagine you're gonna eat that diet all day long. What the fuck?
I'd be on the side of the car taking a shit. I can't fucking. I'm not a farter, believe it or not. But unfortunately, God made it so that I got to shit. So I've had to shit at the most unopportune, worst fucking. And when I gotta go, bro, I gotta go or it's coming. You know?
Yeah,
And
can you
it's a
imagine
tsunami.
Greg on a vegan diet, John? Forget about it with all that fiber.
If my girlfriend, she won't get on the camera, but if my girlfriend was here, she'd tell you, oh, bro, I'll jump out of the car on the side of the highway if I have to go, because I will shit my pants. I'm telling you right now.
I don't remember where it was. It was either Sound Factory or Twilo or somewhere, some club we were in, and Greg was wearing cargo pants, and he had the pocket and the leg, the roll of toilet paper.
Oh, he has it right now. I guarantee
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm in my house, I don't have, but when I leave, because, dude, I told you, I was just at Generation Iron. They didn't have any fucking toilet paper in the goddamn. We were in the studio where they film, and I went in to go to the bathroom. I said, they have to use a fucking key. You know what I mean? I hate that shit, dude. I got to shit, and the key's not fucking going in there, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, and the sweat is starting to drip. I don't want to shit my pants and go back in the studio. Finally, I got it open. I run in the fucking thing, and there's no toilet paper. But, I got the backup in the sock. You know what I mean?
What was the most disgusting thing you ever had to use to wipe your butt? Like, when you get caught in an emergency, like leaves or something like that, or a towel. What is the most disgusting thing you've used?
Over my lifetime, I've used leaves. I've used towels. What have I used that was really fucked up? The worst is when I was locked up in jail. I tell the story all the time. We were downstairs in the fucking holding pen underneath the fucking court. And I was with 100 other guys, man. They were all sitting there. And we're sitting in a big, giant cell. And we just get fed we got our lunch. And there's a silver toilet bowl in the middle of the room. No walls around it, because they got to watch you. And I said, guys, listen, I'm sorry, but a tsunami's coming. I got to shit. So they're all like, oh, fuck. Oh. So they all turn their back, and I shit my fucking brains out, right? And now listen. I'm sitting there, and I realize, wait, there's no walls, so that means there's no toilet paper. And I'm like, no fucking toilet paper. So one guy had a half a bologna sandwich that was still there, and I said, I need to sit. So I used the wheat bread, and I wiped my ass with the wheat bread, and I caught a rash, Dave. I caught a fucking rash because the wheat was all scratchy and shit. I caught a fucking rash. And then later when we're handcuffed like this, my ass is itching. I'm trying to rub it against the wall and shit because I had the worst fucking rash. My asshole was cherry red because I wiped my ass with the bologna sandwich. So that's probably the worst fucking thing I ever. But I mean, dude, you're handcuffed and you can't even scratch your ass. You're trying to scratch. You're like a dog going across the carpet like this and shit. You ever get a dog going across the carpet? You know what I'm saying? I was like a dog trying to do that shit, and I'm handcuffed with other guys. They were like, "What are you doing?" And I told them my ass is fucking itching me. That goddamn. Because I wiped my ass with a bologna sandwich. You know what I mean? And dude, the wheat bread was like, had that like little grit in it. You know what I mean? And it must have irritated my asshole. That was probably worse.
I'm gonna have to admit to mine too in this. Okay, so I'm in Mexico, and I'm driving with a friend of mine. We're driving from Guadalajara to Arizona. It's 1,000 miles. We're on this highway that's just straight into the horizon. There's nothing there. There's just fields on either side. There's absolutely nothing. And I got to take a shit. And sometimes Mexican food, it bubbles up in there, and you got to, like Greg knows, you got to go. So I see the public restroom is about 20 kilometers down, and I'm like squeezing my ass cheeks together. I get there. I go in, and it's this long like restroom, and it's got these stalls. And now in Mexico, they don't put the toilet paper in the toilet. They're afraid of it because the plumbing was old. In the old days, they had
throw it in the garbage, right? Yeah.
They throw it in the garbage. So they usually wrap it up, with other toilet paper. And in every toilet stall, there's a wastebasket next to the toilet, and it's got fucking shitty toilet paper in it.
With probably a million flies too, I'm sure.
It's 140 degrees, like the fucking desert, all right? And you got this festering can of shit paper next to you, all right? I got a shit like a fucking like a racehorse on a laxative.
Like a Valentino.
Like Valentino on a high fiber diet, and I run in there. There's nobody in there. I run in. The things don't have doors on them. I run in. I grab the first one. I swing around the pole. While I'm in the air and drop on my pants, I just can sit my ass on that thing, and I'm like exploding all over the place. God, that felt so good. And I'm sitting there. Oh fuck! That felt like 2 bouts. It comes out. I'm done. My buddy's waiting in the car. I look. There's no fucking toilet paper. So I think I'm gonna like get up, and kind of wiggle over to the next one. I go look in. There's no toilet paper in that one, and I got, what the fuck am I gonna do? So I'm stuck. I hear the horn beeping outside, so we gotta go. I'm like, I look in it. I got no choice. I look in the wastebasket. I got to rummage through with the flies, and I try to find paper. So I would do that. It's like the most degrading thing I could fucking imagine. I unwind a few of those packages and I get like a couple clean sheets of toilet paper. I go wipe my ass as best I could, but it wasn't as thorough as I wanted to. Let's put it that way.
At least it wasn't used.
I get up to wash my hands. There's no fucking water. I'm in the middle of the desert. I mean, there's no water. Where am I going to go? There's like nothing. So no toilet paper, no water. The horns beeping outside. Come on, let's go. And so I get in the car. With windows are rolled up, the air conditioning's on. We get about 5 kilometers away from the shit house, and he goes, "What's that fucking shit house?" And I smell my hands. I go, "Oh, dude!" He goes, "Oh my God!" He was opening the windows. We had to drive like another 50 fucking miles before we got to another rest area. I get out. I try to wash my hands. And I wash this stuff off my hands. By now, my ass is burning like worse than Gregg because I couldn't get it all. And I'm like wiggling in the chair. So by now, it's like my underwear's shot. I had to fucking take off my underwear, throw them away, get toilet paper, do like a sponge bath in the fucking bathroom, wash my hands, and I couldn't get that fucking smell off. It's in my nose hairs too.
Let me add to this story, John. Just think about this. You could have theoretically have taken one of Gregg's wrapped up shits, and you could have been using that to wipe your ass with, and that could be what's on your hands, actually.
I basically did. I mean, I had to unwrap. I had to rummage through the shit can to get fucking toilet paper.
The bacteria level in that can must be off the charts,
But you know what I always wonder? I'm taking a lot of road trips. When you gotta go, you gotta go. You go into some of these gas station restrooms, and I wonder, how do people get shit on the fucking ceiling? I mean, it's everywhere. Yeah. How do they do that?
Gregg,
the toilet?
You know what the craziest thing is in those rest stops? I remember taking my son in there, and we're going in there, and I really, there's a bunch of guys, over there by the urinal and everything, and I get in the stall with my son, who was only like 6 years old, and next thing I know, there's a hole and a guy looking in the hole, and it was a fucking glory hole. And I was like, "Oh,
Come on."
Well, Gregg, you told that story where you shit on some guy's foot, right? Once at one of those stalls.
Oh yeah, dude. I got 100 for you. Want to hear some stories?
John, you want to know how people get shit on the wall? Gregg shit on someone's foot. Think about that.
I went in. Yeah, I told you that story, right? It was up in Lake George, and it was at that Lake George Holiday Inn. It was in there, and I went in. After eating a buffet in the morning with my kids. My kids were sitting out. They were really young. They were sitting out waiting for me in the lobby, and I went in the lobby bathroom, and it was a countdown. It was one of them tsunamis coming. You know what I mean? Like when bro, it's either going to hit my pants or the toilet. And as I ran in, I pulled my pants down, and I guess I turned slightly, and I shit a tsunami, but I missed the toilet, and I shit on the old man's feet in the next stall. and he started punching the stall door, and it was an old man. He was punching the stall door like this, and I was like, oh my God, and I was trying not to get silly, but I shit all over his feet. I missed the toilet. You know what I'm saying? He actually took his fucking shoes off and threw them out. But wait a minute. And my son comes out and goes to me, Dad, what did you do? Some guy came running out here with no shit. And I said, we got to get the fuck out of here because I was afraid he was going to go up to the people in the front desk. But one of the most humiliating things, which I always forget because I have some good shit stories. I told you the one with the seaweed, right? I told you about that.
I don't think so.
I don't remember the seaweed one.
Come on, you don't know the seaweed story? That's legendary, bro. I was at the fucking beaches, Seaside Heights. We had just eaten. I was with my kids, and it was with my daughter and my niece. My niece lives with me. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, I'm at the beach. It's fucking freezing cold. Nobody's in the water. My kids are gloom and doom, like sitting there, like, we don't want to be here, you know? So all of a sudden, a shit bubble hits me. And I'm looking, oh, fuck. There's no sand dune, nothing I could run behind. So check this out. Now I know it's coming, and there's no stopping this, okay? And there's too many people around. I'm with my niece and my daughter. I don't want to shit my pants in front of them. So I run full tilt like this, and I dive into the ocean, right? Get in the ocean. I pull my pants, my shorts down, and I shit. Wait. So listen, I'm spraying, I'm splashing the water, rubbing my ass, all cleaning it up. I get people are almost cheering, like, look at that bodybuilder guy, look at that muscle guy. He don't care, it's cold, like, So I'm like, fuck this, we gotta go back to the hotel. So the hotel, we stayed at Tom's River, and it was the Howard Johnson. So if any of you guys know, Howard Johnson's Tom's River, that's where it is. Yeah. And we went inside, and they have an indoor pool. So we all dive in the pool. So we're in the pool. It's nice, warm water. My kids are coming over, and they're swimming over to me, and they're going, "Ooh, look, you got seaweed coming out of your shorts." And I look, and there's all green, seaweed coming out of my shorts. And my daughters and my niece are going, "Look," and they're scooping it up, and they're going, "Seaweed, like this." And then I look close, and I realized it was the romaine salad I had the night before. My underwear's acted like a strainer, and the fucking shit, it kept the fucking, like, my fucking shorts had all fucking, like, it was the salad I had the night before. Dude, you have no idea. But you know what one of the craziest one is? My partner Paul and I had to move equipment from our friend Angela, who lives in Bensonhurst. And we're over there, and the fucking driveways are very, people live in the houses, their driveways like fucking 10 feet or at the most. It's small. And we're in there, and we're moving Nautilus equipment that he was getting rid of. And him and the family were out. He told me, look, here's the keys. Just go do what you got to do. So we're in there, and we're unloading, right? And my partner had to take a shit. So he shits. The guy's wife had all a stack of, like, newspapers and magazines she sells. Okay, on the internet, like old fucking Life magazines and stuff. So my friend, he shits on the Life magazine, and he throws it in the fucking garbage, right? No, wait, listen. Now, remember, the fucking garage door is closed. We're in there fucking moving. We had a truck outside, and we're moving equipment. So now I got to shit, right? And when he was shitting, I was banging on the door. Like this. I was, doing this kind of shit. Bang, 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 like this. You're like, you're a fucking asshole. Now I'm shitting. And he starts beeping. I'm shitting on a fucking Life magazine, okay?
Probably worth $20,000 the magazine.
Wait, it was Jane Fonda when she played that fucking whatever it was, that fucking thing. What is the space thing that she played a movie back in like 1960s? So anyway, so I'm shitting on the fucking magazine, and my partner starts beeping the horn, beep 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 beep, and I'm thinking, okay, he's trying to get me back because I was banging on the door. Next thing I know, the garage door, I'm squatting over. Next thing I know, the garage door opens up real slow. It's my friend Angelo with his wife and kids seeing me squatting over the magazine, shitting in horror. I'm standing there with my pants down, shitting on the magazine. And I can see the face. It's in the truck. He's driving his SUV. There's his fucking face, his wife's face in horror, and his two kids in the back. And I'm standing there like they see this guy in their fucking garage taking a shit on the garage floor on one of his wife's prized newspaper, magazines. And we had a fucking, he comes running out of the truck. He closes the garage door. He goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" I said, "I had a shit." Yeah, you didn't let us go in the bathroom, because the house is locked. We could just go in the garage. It was mortifying,
John, what do you think was more horrifying?
that guy's look at seeing Greg squatting on a Life magazine taking a shit, or the look that Ed Connors had when he opened his garage and Jimmy Quinn was banging some girl on the hood of his car.
I think Ed was a little.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I just talked to Ed today, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I think Ed would have been probably more mortified.
Yeah, but wait, there were kids involved here. Angel's 2 children were in the back. They were young kids.
You might have traumatized those kids for life.
Probably.
Dude, they see a guy in their house, in their garage. They don't even know I'm in there. The door opens up real slow like this, and I'm sitting in there, and I'm like, what the fuck? My partner was trying to warn me to coming down the fucking street, but I'm thinking he's fucking around. And I'm standing there shitting on him with the Life magazine open, you know?
Greg, I gotta tell you, you got way too many shit stories. Fucking.
Oh, my girlfriend will tell you. I met my girlfriend. I shit my pants. We were stuck in traffic, and I shit my pants when we first met. Literally, I only knew her for like 2 weeks.
She loves you if she's still with you after that. That's for sure.
Yeah, she'll tell you the story. It's disgusting. I couldn't believe he did it with me right there, and I didn't want to do it. We were stuck in traffic in New York City. If I got out, at least if we're somewhere else, I could jump on the side of it. But I'm in the middle of standstill. It was an accident, and I'm in the middle lane, and it just happened. You know?
You're healthy. You're healthy. You let it out, Greg. That's the key. You let it out.
One thing about New York City, you got to use the bathroom. You're fucked.
Oh yeah, because stores don't allow you. Now customers
you can't
get
go
out.
in a store. You can't go in a restaurant. You can't go. There's nowhere to go. There's absolutely nowhere to go.
True.
You're right.
In Florida,
Right.
the bathrooms in the public places are wonderful. They're clean. They're nice.
You know, I was on another road trip. I had to stop at a gas station in the middle of fucking nowhere. It was 11, 12 o'clock at night. It was pretty late. I get into the bathroom. I had to piss my brains out, and it was. I don't know why I didn't go outside. It was dark. I could have done it, but for some reason I went inside, got the key. I go in there, open the door. I go inside. The bathroom is maybe 2 square feet bigger than a phone booth. It's just this tiny, tiny little room with just like the toilet and one of those little half sinks that goes in
Like an airplane.
Like an airplane, exactly. The door slams shut. I turn to look in the door. There's no fucking doorknob. And then I smell this horrible fucking shit smell. And I look around me when the light goes on with the door. I look around me. Somebody had fucking painted shit all over.
Oh, I hate that. I seen that.
The door, fucking, and the ran a coat of fucking shit paint on the whole inside of the bathroom, and there's no doorknob. And I mean, how am I gonna get the fuck out of here? You know? And there's no window. I'm like trying to kick the door to get the attention of my brother who was driving cross country. He can't hear me, and I had to fucking wait finally until he said, "What the hell is taking him so long?" And he comes and knocks on the door. He goes, "You all right?" I go, "No, get me the fuck out of here." He goes into the gas station and he says, "My brother's trapped in the bathroom." He goes, "That's the only key we got. He's got the key is with him. There's no way to get the key out." So they come out and he's trying to pick the fucking lock. I was in there for like an hour in this little tiny soft fucking shit on fucking walls.
Oh, I hate that.
I don't know, between that one and the no toilet paper in the Mexican bathroom.
You guys have some good. I don't have anything close to that, man. Sorry. You guys got me beat.
Come on, you must have one guy. I got a million of them. I haven't even told you half of them. But you got to have one good, solid shit.
Come on, Dave. You got to have one.
I don't. I can't think of anything.
We have to ask Amanda. Amanda, what has Dave done?
I'm good. I mean, I find places. I clean the seat. I sit down. I go. I don't know. Although I will tell you this: the Arnold Classic. When I go into, or even the Olympia, you go into those stalls sometimes. Oh my God! It's from all the creatine and all the amino acids and energy drinks.
It's fucking samples. The little candy bars and shit. They're eating like 6 of it, and then you drink one of them shakes. You fucking
they plaster it. It's all over. The poop's everywhere. They cannot get it in the toilet. They spray it all over the place. People are just. I've just decided that people are just disgusting. I wouldn't have the audacity to leave the stall looking like that. If I had an accident, I would clean it up. Wouldn't you?
First of all, you're standing.
In general, The shit house at the Arnold or the Olympia at the Expo is the most disgusting place on earth. Had to piss all over the floor.
Yeah.
That's where because he's standing in 2 inches of piss.
Yep.
People are
Which is the
animals.
best on the
They are disgusting. I can't believe they actually live in actually houses.
I
Wait,
agree.
let me ask you a question. This ever happened to you guys? You're at the fucking Arnold Expo or the Olympia, and some fucking guy, you're trying to pee, and some guy is coming over to you. Holy shit. Gregg Valentino, what's up, dude? I love it. And they're trying to shake your hand. You're like, dude, can I just finish this first? You know what I'm saying? Did you ever get that?
Yeah,
Where
of
guys
course.
come up to you,
I
you're
have
at
pee
the urinal?
anxiety. If people talk to me, I can't pee.
I was in a toilet stall. I wiped my ass with Sean Ray's poster, and it was on the fucking floor. And fucking and partial Dave Lieberman's too. And and fucking a guy was waiting for me to come out of the stall, like a bodyguard and shit. Dude, they're crazy.
Yeah. But I heard the women's bathrooms are worse than the men's.
Oh yeah, women are pigs, bro. I used to work in a fucking grocery store when I was like 18 years old and shit, and I would fucking have to clean the fucking women's and the giant fucking logs like this long and shit. I'd be like, holy shit. You women are worse than men. You know what I mean? I would fuck them up. I'd go in there and I'd throw bleach all over the floor, and then I would throw ammonia, and it would create this fucking, if you mix bleach and ammonia, it creates like a fog, and like it's like toxic.
It's like a toxic cloud, yeah.
You can die from that.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I was a bouncer at a club in L.A. a long time ago. We're cleaning up after we had to gather all the glasses and shit after the bar closed. And one of the other bouncers comes up from downstairs where there was another dance floor and another bar. And there was a bathrooms down there. He goes, dude, you got to come in here. You got to see this. And he's gathering up everybody he can find to come into the women's bathroom. He says, you got to see this. You got to see this. There was a fucking log about 16 inches long in the fucking toilet that the girl left there. It looked like a fucking hero sandwich. It was like,
yeah.
I'm so disgusted right now. I can't even tell you. I'm ready to throw up. But John, on that throw up note, I want you to have a great birthday. Are you doing anything for your birthday today? You just gotta kind of chill out.
Been pretty shitty so far.
Yeah. No pun intended.
Yeah. No, I'm not. This weekend, Val and I are going away for 4 days. We're going to go to the mountains. We got a cabin up there, up on the top of the mountain. The leaves are turning. It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait to go. We're going to take the dogs.
I hope you have a shit episode.
Hopefully not.
I hope you're hiking.
Bring your roll of toilet paper, John. You never know.
Think about me. Put the toilet paper in the sock.
I got to
laugh now.
I got to bring plastic bags for the dog. I might as well bring toilet paper for me.
The good thing is I have kids now. I have baby wipes in the car at all times now. So, and I can always put a diaper on if I have to. Guys, it was great talking to you again after hours. John, happy birthday. Greg, make sure you don't forget your toilet paper today. And guys, we'll be back next week.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. Thank you, Dave. Happy birthday, Johnny.